Welcome, friends, to another episode of That Whiskey Show. I am Chris, and this gorgeous lady is my wife, Joan.
Hi.
This is our first episode of the new year, so first of all, Happy New Year to all of you. For those of you who have been following the show, you may have noticed we kind of took a little bit of a break. It was just something that we both decided on, that we just felt like it was a good time to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. But we have a new year now, and we're ready to get the show rolling again. So hopefully our plan is weekly episodes. So this year there could
Fingers
be
crossed.
52 episodes coming your way, which is a lot of booze for us.
I'm excited.
I am too, actually. So speaking of which, tonight we are excited to go ahead and do this review on the Single Barrel Balvenie. Is that pronounced that right? I totally did not pronounce that right, did I?
Balvenie Single Barrel. Balvenie Single Barrel.
Only human. Anyways, it's 12 years. I've heard it's delicious. I haven't tried this, have I? You haven't poured me any of this yet.
No.
So notice how low the bottle is and that I haven't tried any yet. So obviously she thinks it's good.
To me. Thank you, Dave.
All right, yeah, fair enough. The bottle was gifted, so she did not drink all of that.
Not drink any of this.
All right, so once again, Balvenie.
Balvenie.
All right, I'm terrible at the pronunciation stuff, so.
Everybody is.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not the only one, but laugh at me in the comments. I'm fine with that.
Interesting story there. A buddy of mine went up to the distillery and she said she heard 3 or 4 different pronunciations of this at the distillery.
Gotcha.
So, you know.
All right. But I was way off. But that's okay.
You added a syllable.
I did.
Balvenie.
I like doing that. Whatever. It was fine. Anyways, as I said, we're all here to have fun. Not perfect. Only human. But as you can see, we do have 2 glasses poured already. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Joan so she can kind of give a little bit of a breakdown before we get into the tasting on this.
All right. So like Chris mentioned before, this bottle is fairly low. So it's not quite as important to give it enough, like all that time to breathe, year in the cask, minute in the glass.
Right.
Less important once the bottle gets so down because it's pretty oxidized as it is. This bottle was gifted to me this summer, late summer, probably August or September.
Yeah, didn't he give us like a box of goodies and stuff? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
My
So once
buddy-
again,
my
thank
buddy
you there,
stopped
guy,
drinking and
because
gave me a lot of
he did give us a nice box of treats.
We have been enjoying them. Thank you again. Cannot say thank you enough for those. But anyway, less important to let it oxidize since it has had time in the bottle. This was probably purchased, it was definitely purchased in the beginning half of 2020. So it's had some time.
It's got a really nice light nose to it.
Balvenie is very, very good at making an elegant single malt. Really subtle. When we water this, we're going to be super careful with how much water we put because even though it's at, I believe 47%, 47.8% ABV, it's not going to deal well with much water. So we're going to be super careful when we water this. It's a very delicate, honeyed kind of thing. They have these super fat stills at Balvenie, and they just come out with really, really nice, almost gentle, but rich new make. And then they age them extremely, extremely gently, even for Scotland, with the cool, wet climate. The barrel interaction is really, really gentle. Not like, say, Texas or even Kentucky, where the barrel interaction is, well, in Texas it can get rough.
Really nice note, though. Very light.
100% first fill ex-bourbon barrels on these.
Gotcha. You can definitely see the legs running down the glass.
That is because it is non-chill filtered.
Mm-hmm.
Balvenie
Natural
also,
color too.
Natural color. Well, it doesn't actually say that on the bottle, so, but it is over 46%, so I'm going to say it's natural color, and also it's that's such a straw color. Mm-hmm. Generally, caramel won't make that color.
Right. Caramel
will make it darker, whereas this is like a really bright straw.
Mm-hmm.
Balvenie maintains floor malting on premises as well as a cooperage and their own 1,000-acre farm to grow barley. So they are doing it as right as they can they still have to source off open market because of the volume they put out. There's no way a 1,000-acre farm and the one malting floor could supply everything they put out. So they still do buy off open market, but they're doing what they can for a larger producer to keep it really, really traditional. They do use just a tiny little bit of peat to stop that malting process.
She loves pouring me peat because it'll make me sweat profusely.
There's a but there. There's almost no detectable phenol content in the actual whiskey.
And I've noticed it doesn't have that.
It doesn't smell like peat at all.
Correct.
You have to have a really, really more sensitive palate than I do to pick up on the peat in any Balvenie except for a week of the peat.
I get a lot of like dried fruit.
Totally, yeah.
In the nose.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like cooking pie crust. A lot of vanilla from those bourbon barrels. A lot of bourbon character.
There's a lot of that fruit.
It's very
in
fruity,
the palate as well.
Very lively, but not. I wouldn't call it light though.
No, I mean, and you definitely when you taste it, you definitely get the ethanol. You definitely notice the alcohol, but it's not.
I'm going to disagree with you there. I mean, there's a little bit of warming as it goes down, but this would be an excellent choice to kind of start somebody off on whiskey all the way around, even if they're not even a bourbon fan.
It's light, but just because my wife is a little bit more used to stronger whiskeys than you can definitely still taste alcohol in it. You definitely, but you don't get the harsh burn. By no means am I saying it's a harsh burn. It's a warming sensation.
Yeah, it's just a tingle.
But the ethanol is there.
Tingle on the tongue, tingle on the lips, and warms as it goes down. But I wouldn't say there's any kind of burn. I mean, it's whiskey.
Correct. It's whiskey.
I really enjoy this.
I like it though, and this is 12 years aged, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And now they have
minimum of 12
years, and they have a 15 and a 21.
They have a 17. They have a 12-year double wood, a 17-year double wood, rum cask, non-age dated. They have once a year they put out Week of the Peat, which I have not had this year. I haven't had it for probably 2 years. Then one of my absolute favorites in the world, the 21-year Portwood, spectacular. I haven't met anybody who doesn't like it.
And we have that as well, don't we?
Again, thank you, Dave.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was kind of going off. I know we have 3 bottles of this, right? All different ages, and this is the
12.
The 12, which is the lowest out of the bottles that we have. And so
I think they used to do a 10-year, but they don't anymore.
Right.
So if you see a 10-year somewhere, it's old or it's fake. Probably old.
But it is really good. It's a nice dessert whiskey. This is definitely something that you could sit and sip on after a nice steak dinner
Absolutely.
and have it as a very nice dried fruit. You definitely are getting the vanilla in there as well, with a little hint of the caramel, but it's not overpowering. I definitely feel that the dry fruit is the most
that gentle
standout
aging,
flavor on it.
That gentle aging doesn't pull too much bourbon out of the cask.
So, and yeah, she was right. I'm really not getting any of that peat. There's certain ones that we've done reviews on that you've seen to where the second it hits me, I'm like either just dripping in sweat and I cannot.
Rye does that to you too.
And I really can't. I'm not a peat guy. I'm not. And she very much likes the peated stuff. I really do not. This is definitely way more my speed.
It took me a while.
It's nice, fruity, desserty is my thing. You're still getting a nice burn, and definitely, a 3-finger pour on this will make you feel pretty good. So all around, I definitely feel that this alcohol that I can't pronounce properly is very good. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do the tiniest little drop just to change the specific gravity and see what else it's going to let out. That's just so nice. I'm getting actually a little bit of cherry now, a little dried cherry.
For me, it's still, I think the water opened it up even more, but that fruit, just all around that dried fruit, a little bit of apricot, almost date, like a,
totally.
So that's really comes through, and the water definitely brought that out a little bit more as well.
Yeah, and I'm still getting the baked pie crust, just that brown part of the pie crust around the edges.
I don't necessarily get that, but once again, she has a much more experienced nose with this and palate for whiskey. For me, as I said, I'm still learning. I very much enjoy it. She has gotten me into it, and I enjoy experiencing when I can notice certain notes and certain flavors when they really come through. And there's certain whiskeys that we've done shows on that I can't get any of the notes on. It definitely is something that you have to experience and really mess around and test out a lot of whiskeys before you start getting that.
It's not like your palate is good, my palate is bad, or vice versa.
No.
It's just that different people get different things, and like until you said apricot, I wasn't getting apricot. But I can totally see it now.
Now, I will say,
up the maltiness a little bit too.
I preferred this before the water. To me now, the water has brought out that peat. So if you do enjoy peat, and that's kind of the flavor that you're looking for, this is one that can give you that with a little bit of water. I definitely feel that the peat came out much more.
A tiny bit of smokiness maybe, but I still wouldn't call this like a peated whiskey, even though technically it is.
No, and I'm not saying that it's heavy. It just, the water brought it out more than it was just straight neat.
Yeah, so that little bit of floor malted stuff with the peat burned in it, not in it, but the peat burned to stop the fermentation or to stop the malting process. That coming through just a tiny bit. But yeah, it wouldn't, even don't you get, less burn now?
I feel that it's kind of the same. I don't feel that there was any less. As I said, the water nose-wise really brought that fruit front and center. It was already there, but the water really opened up the nose. But then on the palate, to me, I feel that the peat came through.
I like a little drop. It makes it a little bit more complex. But wow, what it did to the nose, though, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the nose is spectacular on this. Yeah, the nose is absolutely spectacular on this. I enjoy it very much.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong with Balvenie. They do things right. They've been doing it since the 1890s. Um, they didn't have a distillery offering out until 1970 something, though. They didn't, yeah. Everybody was like, oh, Balvenie's new. They're not new. They were just making single malts to go into blends.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is definitely a whiskey that I feel, for me, would it be a daily drinker? No, but it would definitely be after like an amazing meal to sit down on the couch, and this would be one that I would go for right away as that perfect complement dessert whiskey after like a stellar meal.
I would drink this with a meal. Or even before.
She's fancy like that. I like to just drink like Shasta with my meal.
I don't remember the last time I saw you crack a Shasta.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't remember
I don't
ever
remember the last
actually
time I saw a
cracking
Shasta.
Right? Do they even exist still?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody's like making it as a, I don't know, nostalgia bottle.
Because I guess I've never seen it at the grocery store.
No, I
I don't even know what made me think of that. Once again, only human and a little weird.
I loved Shasta when I was little.
Right. No, this
But I
is
haven't
really
seen it
this
for a
is really
while.
good stuff. I do enjoy it. And for all of you out there, if this is something, we'd like to hear your opinions on this as well. If you've tasted this year, if you've tasted the other year offerings that they have out there, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And I think we're gonna try to do the 3 bottles that we have, so we can kind of go like a comparison of the years throughout. So
We'll do 17 next week.
yeah, cool. For us, once again, I'm obviously not some professional, what is that, sommelier?
Sommelier.
Right, and I don't pretend to be. I couldn't even pronounce the name of this crap. We just like to drink, have fun, and spend time as husband and wife and do a show that we enjoy and something that we enjoy talking about together. So, as I said, by no means are our opinions professional.
Well, and I'm not a som either.
Right,
so,
this is just, as I said, we enjoy this, and that's all that it's meant to be. So if you're watching this and enjoying it, that's awesome, because that's all it is meant to be. And just on a side note from, Joni and myself, 2021's here. Let's, I think one of the most important things that we can all do is just be kind to one another. Put all the other BS aside and let's be kind to one another, because we still have a while to go before things resume to normal, if you will. And quality time with your spouse, doing something that you enjoy, is very important in these times. So make sure to set a little time aside for yourselves, and whether that's watching our show, making your own show, doing arts and crafts, just going out, running around, and doing whatever you do to enjoy time with one another, please make sure you take that time. All right? So from both of us, Happy New Year's, my friends. Thank you so much for watching our show. We do truly appreciate it.
Here, here.